Another snapshot of local life in your part of the Central region now, captured in 24 hours.
In 24 hours, Britain's newest radio station, 106 FM, starts broadcasting to the East Midlands.
FM. We're all right now.
There she stood in the street, smiling from her head to her feet. I said,
It's a sort of final chapter, and it goes back to the first chapter, because 30 years ago, almost to the day, Ron Coles and I were involved in this country's first local radio station. And this is now, for me, I think the last one. It's, hey, one more time. And it means a lot to me. It's terribly exciting, a bit scary. There's a saying in the East Midlands about bricking it, and over the last few months and weeks, the frequency of bricking it has become higher and higher. But along with the fear and the apprehension and all the rest of it, there's a real buzz, a real adrenaline flowing.
It's going all right, really. It's going all right. We've rehearsed the show about 12 times, I would say. Perhaps this is the unlucky 13th, but we've rehearsed the show that many times. We haven't yet got it perfect all the way through, which is obviously very troubling because we do need to get it right tomorrow.
While rehearsals continue for tomorrow's big launch, the boss has more mundane things to worry about.
I think most things are well under control, but a couple of things that I found out as I've got in this morning. I asked one of the guys to touch up some dirty marks on the wall, but unfortunately when the paint was touched up, it looks different. So we've got some nice blotches. Can't start doing that until lunchtime because the reception desk hasn't arrived yet, and we are expecting it at about 10:30 this morning, and I'm told the guys will have it fitted by 12:30.
I genuinely believe in radio advertising as an effective way to either brand a product or get a message across, and I consider that to be fundamental.
The 9 o'clock news for 106 FM. This is Pip Watts.
Today we're going to see a guy called Jim Mersh at Creative Interiors. He runs a kitchen and bathroom sort of design and planning company.
I've made loads of mistakes in the past. For example, the couple that crapped open a bottle of champagne on their wedding night, which was terrible. The transfer of Alan Shearer for £1.50.
And basically look pretty and smart and clever.
The analogues.
The last management meeting before the launch, and top of the agenda, the clocks are wrong.
I believe the clock on the wall is now right, but I don't know whether the computer clock is.
No, the computer clock won't, because it's not linked to rugby, is it?
Well,
The computer clocks aren't being sent the correct time. In fact, they're a minute out.
are adjusting themselves as they're supposed to.
I mean, they should always be correct, actually. Yeah. Except the one on there's two in the newsroom. One is right and one is wrong. One is a minute behind, because it can't get a signal where it is.
We need to review that, because if that computer clock is out, then we've got real problems.
10:30 and reception finally arrives.
It's easier to carry it like this. 12:30, Clive is going to repaint reception.
But the whole reception?
Well, I think we're going to have to do big chunks. It's the only way it's going to make it.
Because that security panel
Is that going to be dry in time because they're coming this afternoon to put the board up on that wall as well, remember, for Simon's?
This is true, yeah. Quick drying emulsion, 30 minutes.
It'll take, I'm told it takes about a couple of hours to dry, so I mean, I think we just go with that.
But management plans will have to wait. Redecorating can't begin until reception is built, and that's some way off. And management aren't the only ones, with some juggling to do.
It's good to look different from salespeople. Salespeople always wear suits. I'm involved in doing the commercials, so whatever a client needs to advertise, I'm responsible for putting together his commercial, making it sound as interesting as possible.
Planning permission for the official station sign hasn't arrived yet, so for now they're making do.
Stevie baby, Ready when you are, Creative Interiors.
Yes.
Martin used to be the singer in a pop group. Now he hopes his performance skills will land him and Steve the big sales deal.
Swinging, we'll do it the usual way. I'll do the presentation, you do the fact find when I've finished.
Okay.
And let's do it.
Reception still isn't ready.
106 FM has 6 journalists, and with those we have to cover 3 counties, Nottinghamshire, Leicestershire and Derbyshire, so it's quite a tall order. The big story on the first day that we open will obviously be us. We'd like to be able to lead saying the East Midlands' newest regional radio station, 106 FM, has opened, etc., etc. But if we have another rail crash, such as the one we had at Southall in Middlesex last Friday, it would sound a bit incongruous to lead on ourselves. So let's keep our fingers crossed that most of the news is fairly peripheral and we can lead on ourselves.
So while the news editor hopes for no news, Clive the security guard has become Clive the painter and decorator.
You seem to be off air, guys.
Meanwhile, DJ Dickie Dodd has phoned from home in something of a panic. He thinks the station's test transmissions have stopped.
Are we still here?
Still on air. We're only using pre-fade. Dickie rang from home. We were radiating nothing. We haven't touched anything, have we? Yeah. Well, I've just hit start again, and we were using pre-fade just to do that. That's all we were doing.
Well, we are on air. When everybody was panicking upstairs, I pressed the button. My radio came up. We were on air. So what we must have lost is pre-fade.
Well, Dickie was listening at home and said we're off. We were setting up the voice cards. And the only thing we used was the pre-fade. Without that shouldn't. So we haven't lost anything. So we're on air.
Definitely on in my room.
Okay, right.
That's his radio.
Panic over.
Get Dickie a new radio tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
It's 12 o'clock and in Derby, Martin and Steve arrive for the big sell.
So what is Radio 106 FM? We are a music and talk radio station for Leicestershire, Derbyshire and Nottinghamshire. It's a cross-county regional superstation. It's mainly big name stars, Elton John, Dire Straits, Tina Turner, Bruce Springsteen. It's sort of toe-tapping, familiar music. Who's involved? Ron Coles is an inspiration to work for. What he doesn't know about radio isn't worth knowing, to be honest.
But Ron and Ken, selecting the music playlist, struggle to recognise this Stones hit.
Well, if we're sitting here debating a track that none of us... Yeah, it's all right.
Well, let's see what we will when it comes up. Well, I knew it, you know. Let's get the vocal. No, it's not familiar.
It's too raw, it's not familiar.
Familiar to me.
And he keeps bees.
Right.
So that's the personal interest.
There's a relevancy there.
Yeah, he is actually a very major beekeeper. He's something like the chairman of all beekeepers in the UK or something. He's a very important beekeeping guy.
What about...
So will the very important beekeeping guy prefer the beautiful south?
I mean, there's some good ones which would be spot on, but again, if we're trying to get something that's relatively up to date. Yeah. There it is. Yep. I'll buy that.
He knows who his market is and he knows what he wants.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got a fairly good idea of how to pitch it.
I think because he's one of those clients that knows so much about radio and he's used it to good effect before, we're going to have to make this work. We're going to have to get the creative's got to be right. Not that it won't be, because I'm sure it will. But I'm very confident, to be honest.
They're 50-second adverts.
Back at Radio 106 FM, the senior advertising sales executive, Vicky Clark, is also trying to win clients. Competition is strong among the sales team to land the first big deal.
Right, okay.